Colonel Johnston was there, right in the thick of it. Just like Quetta. BELSEN is a battle against the clock.
I've seen some sights. I thought I could take anything. But this, it's unbelievable. There's no organization, no food, nothing. Half-starved, spiritless, and demented. These people roaming the camp have been reduced to animal level. The task allotted seems totally impossible.
Aha! The hero of Quetta himself. How are things looking?
Eminently solvable, sir. Our task is to save as many lives as possible, as quickly as we can. We can only achieve that through the evacuation of Camp 1. And our military government will move any healthy inmates out first while we establish a receiving hospital here in Camp 2. Colonel Gonen's ambulance men will liaise with field hygiene to get to grips with the typhus and evacuate the sick. Sound simple enough? Right. Now we're getting somewhere.
Goodbye, Colonel Johnston.
Major?
Are you returning us to the front line because it is more expedient?
Goodbye, Major Stadler. Come on! Let's get these moving! Feeling a sense of déjà vu, Derek?
I have to say, sir, I do not understand why you're using the German nurses when we have our own Red Cross girls.
Who wouldn't know a bedpan from a flower pot?
No, but at least they're not short on compassion. They speak English. Without inoculation? This is a virtual death sentence for these Brunhildes.
Look, an offer was made and their superiors turned it down. Seems like the Germans have something against women, as well as everyone else.
Colonel Gonen's on his way with the first batch, sir. ETA 10 minutes.
About bloody time. I'm fairly confident the spread of typhus can be brought under control. 300 patients are now deloused and sleeping in clean sheets. Well done. But we seriously underestimated the level of starvation. We'll soon reach 5,000 dead. Our criterion of selection clearly isn't working. Why not?
Because, Johnny, the inmate doctors only look out for their own, sick and healthy. Poles help Poles. Czechs help Czechs. Suddenly everyone claims to have typhus.
Of course. What the hell did you expect? It was always a crazy idea, this letter T on the head. It's the passport out of there.
If you'd let us treat individuals on a case-by-case basis, we'd have had hundreds of them out of there by now.
I'm not interested in saving hundreds, Colonel. I've thousands of lives to consider. Without a system, there'll be chaos now. I want to institute a criterion of fitness. A BELSEN standard of fitness.
Still based on typhus?
No.
So that was a bloody waste of time then. Look, I'm sorry, but it's my men going into those godforsaken huts day after day.
If you can walk, you can get food. If you can get food, you remain another day in the camp.
So the strong ones stay behind until they get sick.
If they can feed themselves, Dr. Bimco, they're not a medical responsibility. Now that's enough! Let's pull together on this. Dismissed.
My service record, sir. You asked to see it? It was in my suitcase, sorry.
Appears to be in order. And keep your papers with you at all times. Nurse McFarlane tells us who you are.
So how much nursing have you and the others done?
Not much, sir. Molly's done a bit at the Royal Free, but we're all ready to pitch in, and we can learn.
It's a great comfort to me, because I don't have time to set up a classroom.
Sir, I've driven a truck halfway across Europe to get here.
And I'm surprised you made it at all. I can smell the alcohol in your breath from here.
How very bourgeois of you to mention it, Colonel Johnston. I acquired a taste for fine wine and whiskey some time ago, and I still possess a very tidy mind. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll report to Sister.
Hallo, I'm Mag. Morgen. Oh, sind Sie Reus? Nein, ich bin Krankenschwester. Haben Sie gearbeitet hier? Ja, für ein paar Tage. Wie heißen Sie? Ich bin die Leiterin.
Injected us Untermenschen with benzene.
What?
To make us burn faster in the ovens. Yeah, I just can't work with those people, not anymore.
They're from a civilian hospital 10 miles away. Ada, they knew nothing of this.
Can they know nothing? Can they not hear? The patients in that ward, Johnny, they have been beaten, starved, tortured, and stripped of their humanity. They are the last survivors. They are all we have to stand witness to the horror. They are all we have left.
I know. Every day we discover more. Benzene, for the love of Christ.
I will do what I can to help, Johnny. We will do this together.
You all right?
Yes. Really? Thank you.
I think perhaps you've earned yourself a drink.
It's a bit early. I don't drink before 4, and never on a match day.
Match day?
I used to play lacrosse.
You weren't a captain, were you?
Well, actually.
Of course you were. I should have guessed you liked blood sports, Nurse McFarlane. Don't worry. You've very relaxed licensing hours in Bergen-Belsen. Would you like a...
Sir, Colonel Lipscomb is here.
Excuse me.
Colonel Lipscomb.
How glad I am to see you.
I'd have been here sooner if I could.
The feeding's become an absolute nightmare. I'm afraid it's something we never anticipated.
Who's he?
He's an expert in nutrition. He's come all the way from India. Right, Nurse McFarlane. You're going to help me shift Lipscomb's gear. Come on.
So, what have you been giving them?
Well, our compo rations were a complete disaster. It's made them more sick and killed some of them. Since then, mostly milk, potato soup.
What were the inmates eating before you got here?
God, anything they could lay their hands on. Potato peelings, dirt, grass.
It's ironic, but one of the symptoms of typhus is hunger, and yet victims of starvation are incapable of assimilating fats. But they do need protein, so skim milk is good, and something called hydrolysates. Now, This special compound is called Bengal famine mixture. It was developed by our nutritionist back in '43, and it contains the right balance of nutrients for victims of severe starvation. I've ordered several tons of it. You mix it up with water, you feed it to them twice a day.
It'll stop them dying?
I hope so. And we can try Bovril in hot water. Ovaltine, if we've got it.
Forget about the Bovril, Martin. Let's just concentrate on the famine mixture. Now, you're suggesting I draw up 3 different scales of diet.
Yes. One of 800 calories, one of 1,700, and one of 3,000.
Right. So we're all agreed on that. Hmm? Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
You'll have tremendous problems distributing it, of course. I can see that.
Well, don't you worry about that. That's my responsibility.
I know, but some of your colleagues...
If you get any flack from any of my team, you tell Derek here, or you bring it straight to me.
Colonel, this isn't India. There's no guarantee it will work here.
Listen, I'm putting my faith in this magic potion of yours.
Charlie, look in here. What are you doing? Make sure you make a trip. I can't wait to see what it is. Over here.
Christ, I like fine.
Right, quickly, climb down. Name?
Peyton, sir. Alex Peyton.
How old are you?
21, sir.
How'd you come to be here?
First by train to Cirencester, then plane to Hanover. Dakota's actually.
Not interested in what bloody aircraft you flew in, Peyton. You know, to be honest, when I asked for additional help, a bunch of medical students halfway through their training wasn't exactly what I had in mind. What I need is experts in hospital administration, famine relief, psychological rehabilitation.
We've all had basic clinical training.
I'm sure I expect you're all bursting with bright ideas. Well, you and your Oxbridge pals better listen up, because there's a world of difference between the theory and practice of medicine. Up until now, we've been more like undertakers than doctors. Only finished burying the backlog of dead 3 days ago. Right. Now, you were shown a film before you left.
Yes, sir.
So you know what to expect?
Yes, sir.
No, you bloody don't. Because what that film couldn't do was prepare you for the smell. With 27,000 people in an area the size of Green Park, the stench in the huts is so bad that our troops can only bear to be in there for 10 minutes at a time. But I'm going to ask you to be in there for hours. You're going to have to work your way through the huts, bunk by bunk, body by body. Can you do that, Peyton?
I'll try, sir.
Can you do it?
Yes, sir, I'll do it.
Good. And this is what you'll be feeding them. It's going to put new life into them. So, I look forward to hearing one of you say, "Good morning, sir. No one died today." Right, Colonel Goner will sort out your transport.
I'm sure we can be of help too, Colonel Johnston.
Training is of the essence here, Nurse McFarlane. At least these gentlemen have some of it, right? That's enough chat. 0700 tomorrow, you meet your patients.
What the hell's he playing at, for Christ's sake? I didn't come here to wet nurse a bunch of students or provide him with a bloody taxi service.
Not quite. I'm a medical man, but these fellows are training doctors. I'm sure they can be put to better use than just feeding the sick.
I don't know what's got into him. And what he said to you, it was downright rude. It was uncalled for.
Doesn't matter, he didn't mean it. He's exhausted.
We're all bloody exhausted.
Quite, so come on, have a drink.
That's what I like to see. One who smokes and can hold a drink. I suppose you play poker as well, do you, Mac?
Like a pro.
I did mean straight poker, not the other kind.
Oh, that's a pity. I only play the other kind, so if you like it straight, Mervyn, you'll have to find someone else to play with. Cigarette?
Thanks.
Ears, cheeks, heart.
I'm not judging them, Leslie. How could I? If I've been through what they have.
It's not just food they crave. They're like children.
Their hunger for every kind of thing. It's just terrible.
They won't eat our famine mixture.
Well, it's not familiar. They don't recognize it.
It'll give them exactly what they need. It's been scientifically formulated.
Formulated for who? Bengalis. These people are Czech. They're Russian, Hungarian. Well, they're used to rich, meaty food with a particular flavour. The mixture's just too sweet. No, I find a little bit of paprika makes all the difference. But, oh, yeah, some of them even ask for more.
It's as simple as that.
Well, none of us can eat if we don't like the taste, Colonel. Look, maybe the way to save people's lives is to remind them who they were.
Jesus, what do they think I'm going to do with that?
What is it you're looking for?
I don't know. Peppers, spices, anything that'll make the famine mixture taste more like home. What I don't understand is why Colonel Lipscomb didn't know about all this. He's supposed to be the bloody expert.
Colonel Lipscomb told me that his speciality is geriatrics.
I'm losing this war, Mac. I've lost more lives than I've saved.
It's not just you, you know. There's progress in every little thing we do. The fit ones, the ones you made stay behind, they're getting stronger. Peyton told me. And I saw a small miracle today. A mother and her children walking in the sunshine. It was normal. Doesn't that make you feel better?
No.
Well, you should have more faith in yourself, Johnny.
You just leave me there?
You look lovely.
I wasn't going in to see this.
Not sure it's my colour, actually.
Oh, look. It's Peyton.
Let's not wake him.
$2,500 of the fit are now seriously sick. Unless they're accepted at once into hospital, they will undoubtedly die. The effect on morale would be disastrous.
I'm afraid, Brigadier, she is not the only one. Military government report there are many other similar cases.
All right. What do we know?
Our initial blood test show no sign of typhus, or any other disease for that matter.
Did this woman ever receive a blood transfusion?
I'm not sure, sir. I'll have to check the records.
Well, do it. The last thing we want to find out is that she was given contaminated blood.
With respect, Brigadier, I don't think that's possible. We're very strict about the way blood is administered.
What about this Bengal famine mixture? What's in it?
It's all fairly innocuous, sir. Sugar, milk, salt.
No hidden potions that might cause the blood to fail?
Certainly not.
Well, I want it analysed, all the same, just to be sure.
Yes, sir.
Christ, her heart just weighs over 100 grams.
A fraction of what it should be.
How long has she been here?
I think she's a transfer, sir. She could have been in and out of camps for years.
Well, there's your answer, Johnny. A long and sustained period of starvation has irrevocably damaged the heart so that it's no longer viable.
That's correct, sir. The stomach, liver, kidneys all show similar deterioration.
This woman didn't die through lack of our care. She died because the Germans killed her years ago.
Bitte seien Sie doch vernünftig. Hier liegen Tausende von Menschen, die wochenlang nichts gegessen haben. Sie brauchen Ihre Hilfe. Wenn Sie ihnen nicht helfen, werden die alle sterben.
It's very simple. You take this, you put it in water, and you clean with it.
They won't show up for their shift. They won't clear up their mess. She's got to invite. Refuse to follow your orders, John.
Get up! Get up!
Someone stop it. What's he doing? Stop it! He can't do that! Somebody stop him!
He's gonna kill him. What's Colonel Johnston's gonna kill him?
He can't. He's not capable. Johnston?
Yes, he can, sir. What's he doing? You never got Colonel Johnston, did you? Or is it you called him a pen pusher? The Colonel's just as much a soldier as the rest of us, and he's got the military cross to prove it. What? Yes, that's right. Afghanistan, sir. He was only 26. He went out under enemy fire, pulled a wounded man off the battlefield, single-handed.
Oh, for Christ's sake, there's ways and means.
For God's sake, Mervyn, get out there and stop him!
Who are we looking for?
He's not in there!
No, sir,
Has
nothing
anybody
there.
seen him?
Nothing there.
Where the hell is he?
Well, the only buildings left to check are the storerooms and Block B on the far side.
Right. Peyton, Mac, you come with me, we'll check the storerooms, the rest of you check Block B.
No idea.
In here, sir.
Johnny?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry about this warning.
Oh, don't apologise, Bastard had it coming. Peyton's got some news for you.
Yes, sir. In my hut, no one died today, sir.
Don't think he heard you, Peyton.
Colonel? In my hut, no one died today. All still present and correct. They're eating the famine mixture and keeping it down. Giving it a flavour they recognise made a real difference.
It was working.
Well, maybe. You know as well as I do, there are no big victories here. It's the little things that count. Like Peyton here, holding their hand through the night. Or Ada taking their temperature. Or Mac, writing down their names, which villages they come from. No. People will be working in BELSEN for years after we've gone, Johnny. But the point is, we've turned a corner. And even I'm prepared to admit it. Your bloody system's working.
There's something else we want to show you.
Someone was right. The way to save people's lives is to remember they're human.
Oh.
Morgan.
Good morning, Mr. Fisher.
Oh, you know what one woman said to me this morning? What? Today is the beginning of my life.
Did you kiss her?
Yes, I bloody did.
Fisher, I want the storeroom looking like the coconut bar at the Ritz. You can use this furniture here. We're having a party.
Yes, sir.
Put some coloured shades on the light bulbs. Anything else to make it look more inviting.
Fancy a bit of a cabaret, sir?
You're in charge, Fisher. Oh, and tell Lieutenant Sington that I want all the press assembled in Camp 1 first thing in the morning.
Yes, sir.
And one other thing. Find me a flamethrower.
Johnny?
Brigadier, Mac, how the devil are you?
Having the most wonderful time, aren't we, Brigadier?
Absolutely. Absolutely splendid, thanks to you, Johnny.
You hearing what the press are saying, Johnny?
Huh?
Apparently you've created the largest hospital in Europe.
Would you like to dance?
Love to.
I'm so drunk, Mac. I'm so drunk.
For the greatest part of the liberated Jews of Bergen-Belsen, there was no ecstasy, no joy at our liberation. We had lost our families, our homes. We had no place to go, nobody to hug. Nobody was waiting for us anywhere. We had been liberated from death and the fear of death, but not from the fear of life.
In 1946, Hadassah Bimco married Joseph Rosensaft, the leader of the Belsen survivors. Their son was born at Belsen Hospital 2 years later. Dr. Bimco Rosensaft would later become one of the founders of the US Holocaust Memorial Museum. Glyn Hughes became godfather to dozens of Belsen babies and considered the survivors part of his extended family. In 1945, his improvised medical unit was renamed the Glyn Hughes Hospital. It still stands today. Alex Payton qualified in 1948 and became an eminent clinical physician. He remained good friends with his fellow Belsen students and now lives in Didcot. Emanuel Fisher became a famous musician, conducting the London Jewish Male Choir for 20 years. Leading tours around the world and composing for Hollywood. But the trauma of his time at Belsen never left him. Leslie Hardman performed many weddings at Belsen and remained in touch with his congregation to this day. He's still a rabbi, now living in North London. Derek Sinkton prepared indictments for the Nuremberg trials with the help of his secretary, Gertrude, who he'd met on his first day at Belsen. They married in 1948 and settled in Neasden. Mervyn Gonin received a Distinguished Service Order and returned to general practice in Ipswich. He died in 1954. Jean McFarlane followed Johnston's unit from Belsen to his next posting and then took up the presidency of the English Lacrosse Association. She adopted a refugee orphan from Central Europe, but never married. James Johnny Johnson stayed in the army for another 30 years. Promoted Major General, he took command of all army medical training. Those who had shared his experience at Belsen, he remained in touch with for the rest of his life.